Welcome back, everybody, to this podcast ends with you, episode 14. It's been a little while, and in this episode, we're gonna catch up on all the news that we missed, talk about some other news within the Square Enix field, as well as talk a little bit about some of our impressions of the first week of Neo: The World Ends With You near the very end. So if you want to avoid spoilers, just avoid the very end. I'm trying to keep these intros a little bit more short and sweet, so just be sure to follow our Twitter at twitter.com/TPEWY_PR for all the updates on when the next episode is going to be, because that's still kind of up in the air at the moment. But we might have a Halloween episode, so stay tuned for that. Also, of course, as always, thank you very much to our patrons that help keep us going, including Christopher Ventresca, Shin Kojin, Solly Dwayne, Brett Tendo, Willow Bun, Kyle Turpy, Dark Dude, Exilera, RSB, Saimatsu Shipper, and Zeta Slow. Thank you all very much for your support. And without further ado, here's episode 14 of This Podcast Ends With You. Enjoy! You have to regain yourself. Come back. Regain yourself. Become one again with us. The podcast, the podcast that begins, the ends. It ends now. But you end the. Oh, let me check my notes. Let me check my notes if I have the name right. It's been that long that I've forgotten. What's the name of our podcast? Neku. Hey.
You're the one that was sleeping before this.
I wasn't even sleeping. That was my. Why you?
It's always one of you two.
That's what. All right. First of all, rude. Second of all, I have a job now, so it's different.
You still sleep until like 3 in the afternoon, dude.
What? Never until 3 in the afternoon. I've done that never. I've done that twice, but that's not the point.
Okay, I was about to say, you're lying to my face.
No, it's literally, it only happens if I've like flown and you know, jet lagged. That's like the only time it's ever happened to me. Hi, hello, it's This Podcast. You remember me? Remember good old Amadeus? Now without an underscore. Remember me, guys? It's hi. It's been a while. I'll tell you why in a second. Also, hey, it's Osmaneku, everybody! Yay, Osmaneku! Woo! It's him. See.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. How are you all doing?
It's terrible. Also, my.
Hi.
Ahmed, how much coffee did you have before this?
Yeah, legit, you're off the walls.
I am. Look, I'm excited. I'm honestly just
I can
excited
tell.
to be back. I'm excited to be back. It has been, I feel like I have some explaining to do. I honestly do. I feel like I have been a negligent parent.
I feel like this isn't part of the script.
I feel like, you know what? We're going off the script. That's right, I'm going off the walls. I'm going rogue on the script.
Mike, can you go tape down the coffee maker so you can't use it anymore?
No.
I got it.
Thank you.
Wait, no, why? This is not the whatever. Okay, let's talk. Let's talk about it. You and I. You just sit and take a seat in the armchair. Yeah, you take a seat there. Kick your feet up. You know, this is I'm your father. We need to have you and your mother and I have to have a conversation.
Is duct tape okay?
Yes, duct tape is just fine. Go take it down, please.
Why did you actually take out tape? I'm mad that you actually have tape.
I'm not surprised.
I'm mad that you actually have tape.
No, she was prepared for when we had to drag you away from Neo the first time. I remember that.
Oh yeah, she did have tape. That's true.
Yeah.
That should hurt. So, what do we have to talk about? So, things have been slow. All right. I'm gonna be real with you guys. Ever since I came back from holidays and we did the Miranda interview, things have just been weird and awkward. Why would that be so? Like, for example, like the Miranda upload was a week late. That's kind of the big one.
It was more than a week late, but I'm not gonna call you out too hard.
No, I think it was exactly a week late. But yes, that's on me. Basically, to cut a long story short, I have a job now. Yay!
Everybody clap.
Yeah, we did it. Well, not a job. I should clarify. It's like a part-time job while I'm finding my feet in media and to find like my proper job. So really, like, this job I'm not really gonna have for any more than a year, since I'm gonna get into the media field.
I feel like you shouldn't be saying this on anywhere that your job can find you.
I mean, hell, if I'm applying for anywhere for a job, I'm probably gonna show them the podcast and be like, hey, we did this. I was a big part of this. I made this. You like this? And then they're gonna be like, why have you messed up every start to every podcast? And I'm like, it's fine. It's part of the show. It's all part of a giant joke. It's all planned, but it's.
I keep a shotgun to my foot to keep me nervous, so I always mess up the intros. That's what you should tell them.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, and then also, like, you know, people have jobs, people have had tests, people have had educations. It's been a busy time for all involved. We are people. We are not doing this full time, although we could be if you support us on our Patreon, patreon.com/TPEWY. But we're here now. We're good. Things are gonna be kind of fast and loose from here on out with the podcast. Things are gonna be changing because we do obviously have, you know, stuff to talk about, and we have a couple more podcasts planned. But definitely the news is kind of lessening and lessening as time goes on. So yeah, we're gonna be exploring kind of different avenues and talking about what we're gonna do with that, and we'd love to hear you guys' opinions on what you'd like to see us do, etc. However, you did not come here to hear me babble on about the podcast and how I'm doing, because who really cares? Who cares?
About 75% of people who watch us.
Just talk to me about The World Ends With You, and to that, dear viewer, I say that's rude. But also, your wish is my command. And in that vein, let's talk about the first thing we have to talk about, which is Twitter. We have to talk about, because this is how far back, because we did so many pre-recorded episodes and we did an interview, there's actually quite some old news that we have to catch up on. Including, but not limited to, this one. The World Ends With You is on PC, baby.
Epic Game Store,
Now
yay.
now I can actually make my friend play it because he refuses to play console.
Why?
I don't know. I think it's because it's just less convenient for him.
Let's say, if it's a frame rate issue, I'm gonna tell him just play the PS4 version.
Yeah.
Is there a frame rate
No,
issue?
I don't know. I think it's just like I have to turn the console on. I find like the computer easier, and I'm like, bruh, the console's in your room as well.
I gotta be honest with you guys. I gotta be honest. I kind of share that sentiment. I'll kind of buy stuff on PC over console if I can.
So why haven't you bought it on PC yet?
Because I don't have the money to buy the game twice right now.
So why didn't you wait for the PC release?
Because I run this podcast.
So it sounds like you are trying to make a very convenient excuse.
Shut up, Neku, shut up. Why are you blowing me up like this? It's fine. So, oh yeah, there. Look at this. Cool. Look at this. This is new art from my man and yours, Gen Kabayashi. Unless that's not who drew this, in which case I'm sorry.
I'm pretty sure it's
Gen
Kabayashi. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
This is one sick key art. Like,
Yeah.
it really
so
is.
sick. It's so cool. I particularly love the expressions. Like, I love Uzuki's expression. Like, I don't know about this one. I like it.
I'm surprised
Alright,
the
let
first
me-
thing you didn't notice was Kanon.
You know, is this the bit now? Is that there's just I'm just a Conan step? Is that like the new?
Didn't
new
you
business?
join the Kanon Army Discord?
I was invited to join the Conan Army
He
Discord.
joined it. I'm in it with him.
That sounds
So
like
yes,
that
the
lies to
bit
me,
is now
Chief.
we target you.
That's blasphemy. Blasphemy?
How is that blasphemy? We target Mai all the time.
So it's on PC, which means, you know what this means? This means mods. This means mods. Also, we're gonna have to ask people to be a little bit calm in the chat, because some people have not played this game yet. So we're gonna be a little bit relaxed with the comments that we say. However, There's the cast. There's everybody there. Yeah, PC. So I haven't gone on PC yet. I will as soon as I get my first paycheck. Probably play the game over again. So I can. I want to see what mods people have. Have people already started modding this game?
I actually don't know.
Me neither.
I actually have not been looking, but I really hope they have, because there are lots of outfits I'd love to see on these characters.
You know what? We're doing it live. Huh? I'm checking Game Banana right now.
Just checking Game Banana.
Yeah.
Can you Game Banana an Epic Store game?
I don't know. Oh, hold on. Mods and resources. Hold on. Hold on, guys. Oh, it's just a save. It's just a completed save of the game.
So the answer is not
What the
yet.
hell, guys? Get on it. Get on that.
To be
shit.
fair, mods do take some time to create.
We do. That is very true. But yeah, mods will happen, I imagine. But yes, the game is on PC. More people can play it. More people should play it. It's a good game. It's interesting, right? Because I've been hearing like, it's after people kind of meld out about their opinions. I'm hearing slightly different opinions about the game. I feel like the sentiment of like there is some sort of frustration with like the story, particularly at the end. I feel like that sort of sentiment has been slightly more spread. Just because like the storytelling style is kind of different from the first game.
It's not kind of different.
It's very different.
Yeah. But yeah,
Completely different writer.
It is. Yeah, that's it, right? Like it's a completely different writer.
That is the one thing I will give this game. This is like a brand new writer to the series, so we shouldn't have expected like gold stars across the board because the original writer wasn't there and they had to like pick up the pieces that was left behind. So I'm not mad about it. I do still enjoy the story.
It's also a pretty goddamn high bar to clear. Like there was a lot of damn pressure on him to get this right. 14 years of anticipation.
Expectations are hard to meet always.
Yeah, but no, I still love the game. I still think it's like an extremely good game. Again, it's like the story is the only thing that like the story near the end is the only thing in the game that I'm kind of like iffy about. But like everything else, I adore this game. It's weird. I haven't had the time to touch it again. After I completed it initially, I haven't even like gotten all the secret reports yet. I would like to, because we will be talking about it on the podcast soon. TM.
Later, TM.
But
I will say one thing. This game is still good enough to go back for the gameplay. And I really hope that a lot of people still come back to the game and we start seeing whispers of a sequel again, not in a decade. Because I want them to finish some of these stories.
Honestly, the story and the interactions are good. It's just like, and this is the thing we like maybe that we don't realize is that like there are a bunch of new fans now to the game that I knew before. Like I feel like I'm seeing TWEWY art regularly now, or semi-regularly on my timeline. Like a lot more regularly than before. Maybe not like during like the Gold Rush period. I'm gonna call it the Gold Rush period, like the period right between sort of the announcement of the anime and the release of Neo. I'm gonna call that like sort of like the Gold Rush period.
I can agree with that.
But like I've been seeing like so much interest in like the character designs and all that, and that makes me super duper happy. So yeah, no, I feel like there's a bunch of new fans, and I hope to sort of get more into the scene. And if you're watching this and you're a new fan, I'd love to hear it. Like please like talk in chat or tweet at us or comment below on the video, or if you're listening to us on Spotify, you're shit out of luck. I'm sorry.
Just following us on Twitter. And if you don't have a Twitter, then yeah, you're actually out of luck.
But you can also shout at us on Discord.
That is also an option. If you don't have a Discord at that point, I don't know what to tell you, dude.
Send smoke signals.
Smoke signals to our houses.
Yeah. Make a telegram, maybe. Call the police. Ask them for us. Don't do that. Please don't do that. This podcast in the zoo does not condone calling the police in not an emergency.
That's called swatting.
It's
When I was a kid,
Oh, is it story time? Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait for the I accidentally called the cop story. Please.
It wasn't an accident.
Wait, it actually happened?
Okay, so
is this
as
like-
a
hold on
kid,
a
my
second.
sister and I.
Is this like the kid that
It's fine.
called the 911 because he was pooping or something? Is that like the same, the same
No,
caliber?
no. Let me tell the story. So my sister and I, when we were a lot younger, like a lot younger, we were doing prank calls. And so she told me, don't prank call the police. So I was like, okay. She walks away. What do you think I did?
Okay, how old were you when this happened, Maya? I need to know.
I don't remember how old I was, but I was like, you know, very young elementary school.
Okay.
Probably like first grade.
So hopefully the person on the phone was just like, oh, this is a prank call, but I feel like that's not how this story ends.
They knew it was a prank call, but they still sent officers to our house to make sure everything was okay.
God damn it! God damn, my. Like, so like, what were your parents' reactions like?
No, I'm not done. I'm not done.
Oh, this gets better.
It's not that much worse, okay? Except I did it again.
Oh, come on, my.
Probably a few months later.
My.
A few
I don't know.
months?
Yeah. I don't know.
You didn't
what
learn
the
your
hell
lesson the
is
first
going
time when the
through my
cops
brain.
came to your door, started beating you, going, hey, you okay?
Yeah, so both times cops came to our door to make sure we're okay. I learned my lesson after that. My parents were not exactly happy.
Not
I
exactly.
wonder why. I wonder why.
So yeah.
Great.
I'm
Yeah,
impressed.
to be fair, I swatted myself then.
Yeah, you still swatted yourself.
Yeah.
Great job. So, yeah, good. So in conclusion, Neo TWEWY is on PC. That's the conclusion of that story.
Oh, apparently it does run better than console versions, just period. It's a consistent
thought so.
60 frames.
I would have thought so. Like, it's just like PCs are beefy these days. And super affordable because you can get graphics cards so easily.
Actually,
What?
pre-builts are actually still at a reasonable price because they get graphics cards in bulk. So if you buy a pre-built, you can get like a 3080 at a decent price.
Oh, what a concept. What a concept.
This is Neku the PC snob telling you to buy a pre-built to get a discount on a graphics card, by the way. That is not a joke.
Yeah, no, I believe that. So yeah, Neo TWEWY on PC. Get it. It's on Epic Game Store. I don't know why. Like, I assume they have the same deal with this as they do with the Kingdom Hearts stuff, so.
I think it's just a Square Enix partnership deal at that point because
Yeah.
they put all of Kingdom Hearts and this on there, and we're probably going to see more Square Enix games going in that direction. Except for Final Fantasy 14, because that game's been around for way too long.
Nah. Dude, if we, like... We're thinking of expanding
Imagine
other Square Enix games, like... The problem is Mai knows nothing about Final Fantasy 14, but me and Neku could talk about Final Fantasy 14 for hours on end.
If you guys want to see if Maya play Final Fantasy 14, bother her in the comments, please. I want to see this.
They want it so bad.
I don't
And it's
want
not
it.
just them, but
I
also...
don't.
well,
I
you're
don't
right.
want it. I
Okay,
don't want it.
Neku. Alright, fine, Ahmed.
I want it.
yeah.
Talk to me.
Yes, but I've also have like 2 other people bothering me.
That doesn't mean you can't play the game.
You will cosplay Joshua, and you will
No.
marry a Neku. No? No?
Nah,
Are you
I
sure?
wouldn't cosplay Joshua. He's too boring. His design's too plain.
Ironically, one of the easier designs to put together in the game.
Joshua is boring. You heard it from the horse's mouth. Joshua is boring. You heard it. I'm glad you finally come to your senses. I'm so proud of you.
Ahmed, you've got a problem, though. You've got a
Joshua
problem,
is
Ahmed.
boring.
The fact that she likes Hazuki more.
I mean,
Hazuki's design is better.
You
No, okay.
haven't escaped this angel hellhole you've placed yourself in, Ahmed, okay? You have to
what do you
accept
mean?
it.
I like Hazuki, kinda.
It's literally Josh.
No, it's not.
It's like a nicer Joshua, but also not at all.
Yeah, but how many people has he shot in the head? Okay, I'm not getting into this. I hate this. I hate this conversation. We're moving
So
on.
Final Fantasy 14 though.
Oh, I won't get into that. It's far more.
So yeah, no, TWEWY's off. How are we like diverted into this? I'm glad to see nothing has changed. I'm glad to see this podcast
Because
hasn't
tangents
changed
are
in the
fun,
lesson.
okay? But what is our next thing we need to talk about? This is our host, ladies and gentlemen.
The anime and the English dub of the anime, because that exists now. I think we're at episode 4. I think we're at episode 4. Yes.
I missed.
So
My cat just scared the hell out of me.
did you just greet your cat?
Yes, my cat just scared the hell out of me.
I mean, cat
I didn't know
surprise
she
guest.
was in my room. Yes. Okay, Misty, just sit on my lap. Okay, like a little baby. There you go.
Okay, that's just kind of cute. Anyways,
where are we gonna? This is just gonna turn into a pet. Fucking, I'm gonna leave the podcast, and it could be just like Mai and Neki talking about their respective pets.
I keep forgetting you don't have pets.
I've never had a pet ever in my life.
You need to fix that.
I can barely take care of myself.
Just get a caterpillar.
Is that a mutation? Like, is that a fucking caterpillar cat hybrid? Like, what is that? Did you say caterpillar?
It's a bug. Yes, caterpillar.
That's not how that's spelled. That's caterpillar, not caterpillar.
You know
You
what?
just said the same thing twice.
It's like, yeah.
What?
You
said it
pronounced
in
it
a
the
weird
same
way.
way twice.
It's caterpillar, not caterpillar. You said it like with a pause. It was weird.
Okay, well, I'm sorry that my pronunciation is weird. I had this whole discussion yesterday as well. I say tourists, not tourists. And
Tourists.
my coworkers came at me because I'm not pronouncing the U. And I'm like, why would I worry about the U?
This is the goddamn United States of America. You does not exist.
All right, now I really gotta move on. So okay, yeah, no, the anime, it's now in after months of the anime not being in English, it is now in English. It's really odd, right? Like, I am glad that they dubbed it in English. It's a couple of odd circumstances around it. So, first of all, the English dub came out late, even though the Spanish dub has always been there, which is interesting.
I would love to talk to whoever at Funimation was making these dub decisions, because it obviously had to be Funimation at that point. I want to know why the English dub was delayed for so long. I genuinely do. Like, if you guys know anyone at Funimation, please ask them.
At this point,
Yeah, it's
I'd
very
also
odd.
go ahead. Yeah, no problem.
Because, like, we were hopeful that they were taking their time so that they could get the original actors, but no, they didn't.
So that's the other thing I want to point out, right? So we are this podcast, and with you are not gonna diss anybody for what they did on anything. However, it is noteworthy that there are some voice actors that went out of their way on Twitter to say that they wanted to be on the like dubbing of the anime, but we still got sort of like different people. Granted, the performances are decent. I actually quite like some of them. Like, particularly I like Show's English voice actor that they use for this.
I'll go ahead and say that I have not watched it. I have not had time, so roast me. I don't care, but I'm gonna let these two just talk.
Yeah, at least Korea has his original voice actor.
It's true.
But yeah, I still find it funny that they like delayed episode 4 because they were struggling to get an actor for Joshua.
So were they just literally like? Are they just
That's
literally
what
recording
that's what
these
we
week
think.
by week? Like,
I don't know. I guess.
must be.
So I'll go ahead and tell you now, it's normally not how the industry works. Normally it's just released week by week. But I think in this case, because they are late, they're like recording 2 weeks in advance, doing the post in like a week, and then releasing the episode. Because normally dubs aren't broken like this. Normally they have a ton of time put into them. So this is a very weird situation.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, but honestly, like, I think an important thing to point out was I don't have the list of names of voice actors in front of me, but it is important to point out that, I mean, because we have the English voice in our heads, obviously these are not going to be, like, naturally as good if you're super familiar with, like, the old games like us. But honestly, like, I think there was a pretty good effort from all people involved in the project. Like, I like Neku's voice actor. I especially like Sho's voice actor. I feel like he has actually got pretty close to, like, how Sho speaks in that game in particular. Because he's a lot more Sho's a lot more shouty in OG TWEWY than he is in Neo. So
after dying twice, he calmed down a little bit.
Yeah, you would think, right? But yeah, honestly, like, I think while it is kind of easy to get caught up in negativity of, like, oh, we don't have the original voice actors, the voice actors they did bring are obviously very passionate about the project, and they're super interested, and, like, fair play, like, it's a decent dub. It's decent. Mai, what did you think?
That's never a good sign.
Uh-oh.
It's hard to get used to.
It is hard to get used to, yeah.
And I'll just straight up never really like it.
Yeah.
I appreciate that it exists. However, just play the game, watch it, and sub. Okay. However, I have been notified that there's an actual reason why episode 4 was delayed. I didn't know the actual reason. I was just making a joke. But it was because most of Funimation staff was at New York Comic Con. So it does seem like they're doing it.
That's a reason.
Yeah.
I'll just say that. That's a reason.
But yes, if you for some reason are allergic to reading, then yeah,
don't read the secret reports first off.
Don't read secret reports and watch it in dub, and it's pretty cool. Like, the same essence is still brought through in all what's being said and stuff. So, like, it's decently a pretty cool watch. It's pretty cool to hear it happen in English.
As long as they did a good job, it doesn't really matter who's doing the voices, in my opinion.
Yeah. Let's see here. What else? So I believe this point is about sort of the continued existence of the sort of there's a lot of like media work happening in Japan with sort of sorry, my brain is losing, like, sort of with like advertising for the game and like the IRL Reaper's game and stuff. And there's also an AR game apparently. Yeah.
So the AR game, short and sweet from what I could understand after reading some of the press releases on it, think Pokemon Go, but you have to go to very specific spots to complete missions like attacking noise with a small group. And apparently it's doing super well over there. Like, that's not a joke. Like, it's obviously not as big as something like Pokemon Go because it is a specialized AR game. I think it's based on another game already. It's like a crossover event of some kind. But apparently it's doing super well. There are, like, in Japanese Twitter, there are people posting about it all the time. But we don't have it here, so I can't play it. That's all I got. I don't know what else to tell you. I genuinely don't know anything else about it.
I didn't even know about that part of it.
Yeah,
that sounds fun.
Yeah, it sounds fun.
Exclusive.
To be fair, it is based on very big locations in the Reaper's game itself. Like, it's literally everything is in Shibuya and like the outskirts of Shibuya.
All right, guys, let's pack up. Let's go to Japan.
We're going. Let's go.
Anyone want to donate $9,000 so we can all go at the same time?
I mean, I have like $100.
Maya sitting over here with her scalp PS5s, rich.
Yeah. Sell the scalp PS5s. Maya, you'll get us there.
All right, sounds good. Bet.
But no, apparently the AR game is just doing super well, and it's apparently not bad. So if it continues, then we're good. That's all I can say. It's making Square more money to make more games.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, which is all good in my book. But yes, what else are we gonna talk about? This is not gonna be as long as our usual episodes. These episodes are gonna get slightly shorter from here on out, so you're not listening to this for 2.5 hours. In some cases,
to be fair, after
4.
the big Neo bomb and everything kind of started petering out, until Square starts talking about TWEWY again, we're not gonna have much TWEWY to talk about because also the merch cycle is slowing down because we're outside of the golden age.
Did someone say where's my kazoo? Hold on.
Where's your Of course you're using the kazoo because guess what's broken again? Everybody, welcome back to merch we cannot afford! Yay!
So like it's not working. Like the I tried voice mod the other day and it's still not working. But
I need to just make you a side load and just
please,
let you play music off of it.
I need that in my life. But for now, we don't have that much merch. See, the weird thing is like all the merch we've already talked about isn't even out yet.
Where's my big Mr. Mew?
So, fun fact, I actually looked into this based on a few things that was happening in our Discord. It was slated for an October release, but once Japan started having COVID spikes again, it was immediately pushed back. I hate it.
No.
But yeah, literally just because Japan started having a COVID spike, all of the merch got delayed for international release. So it should be like November, December.
Alright guys, sounds like we're getting TWEWY merch for Christmas.
Hey, that's fine.
Yeah. Like my friends...
I remember, sorry, you go.
No, you go.
Okay.
So my friends... you go. No, you go. It's okay, you go.
Somebody flip a coin!
No, go on, please.
No, I'm not falling for that shit again.
Ladies first, my go.
Okay, so years ago, I got this early access to a video, and it gave me like a free gift or reward, and I was like, okay, cool. Months go by, and it comes around to my birthday, and I get this bracelet in the mail. I'm like, ooh, who gave me this? And I'm like asking him, like, who? It's not signed. I don't know who the hell to thank for this. And then I'm like, who the hell gave me this? Because no one was saying anything. And then I was like, oh wait, it says something on it. Let me just Google this. And I was like, oh, this is the free gift. So it just made me think about that.
You free gifted yourself.
Yes.
Amazing.
Excellent job. That's not lonely or sad at all. Good, great job. I'm proud of you. Proud of you, Mai.
Thank you.
You're good.
There was no effort in it at all.
At all.
Anyways, what's the merch on the screen?
It's so I have a soft spot for open jackets. I don't know if you can tell. It's a very hidden like of mine, but there's a pretty plain t-shirt that says the world. See this? I like the logo. I like the thing. I just want the change to this text on the top because it's like a pretty default sans font. But this right here, this is what I'm talking about. Look at this jacket with stuff written on the back. I love any piece of clothing that has shit written on the back because it says like, oh yeah, I know you're watching this back. You know, it's a call out. I like it. It's flashy. I like things with stuff written in the back. So I like this jacket. I would like it. The material looks like a waterproof thing though. It looks like a waterproof like coat or something.
It looks like a windbreaker type jacket.
Yeah, it looks like that. But it's based on the animation of The World Ends With You. Also we have okay, hold on. Oh, is this the other? This might be the other. Oh,
what did you break?
We're good. So the other one is also the you know, are you guys making up shit now? Are you guys making up merch to do now? Because this is kind of like, so they made these you know when you have like a picture of a loved one on a necklace and a heart-shaped necklace, and it's like it's very important to you.
That's a keychain, not a pendant.
Oh, it's a keychain? Oh.
I'm pretty sure.
How this makes me think of, I don't know if anyone else in elementary school did this. So you had art class, okay? And so whatever, like, there's this one assignment I remember that we did like this one art piece, and our parents could make it into like a coffee mug or a placemat or a magnet, or in this case, a keychain. It reminds me of that.
It reminds me of my good old days as my youth, prank calling the police. The good old days. Ah, to return to those days.
Okay, I have a quick comment about that Coach jacket, by the way, the windbreaker jacket we were looking at.
No, hold on. Let me display it. Let me just. Okay, now
you're not gonna like this.
Okay.
This thing with tax is almost $100.
Jeez.
With delivery or without delivery?
That's just with tax.
Oh! You know! Sure.
I can go print one for cheaper.
You could get the hoodie. That's somewhere on their site. I have that.
Hell, with that money...
You actually got the hoodie?
Yeah, I got the hoodie.
I didn't realize you actually bought it.
Oh, no, yeah, I got the hoodie. I didn't get this, though.
Oh, yeah. Hell, with that much money, you can support the podcast at this damn it. The
your brain is melting. Are you okay?
I'm fine. Patreon.com/TPEWY. You like Discords? You like talking to us in those Discords? You like calling me out constantly? All our angels do is just call me out. That's pretty much all that happens in that channel. It's just, hey, I'm a dummy. And you know what? I'm okay with it. It's fine. I have feelings. Anyway. What am I doing? Why have I not improved? Like, I feel like I have improved as a podcaster, but I feel like I haven't gotten any smarter. You know, I feel like you develop nuance usually when you do these things for a while, but I feel like I haven't developed any nuance. I feel like.
Ahmed, do you think any of us share a brain cell here?
Yeah.
We all have one each individual brain cell, and every once in a while the lightning between them connects, and we have a galaxy brain moment. But otherwise, we're just screaming at each other for like an hour and a half.
That's facts. And what is friendship really? If not a bunch of friends screaming about merch at each other. Speaking of merch, that's gonna be the end of the merch. This merch ends with you. What's the segment called again? Merch we can't afford. We're doing it. This is a disaster. So
your mind has melted. I need you to slow down.
I'm fine. I'm totally okay. I'm totally not like struggling. While like it's just I feel like I want to make it up to the people for like being slow on the uploads, and I don't want to. I feel like I have to be extra to try and impress.
I have noticed.
So I'm a little extra right now, but you know. I think
you're mostly tired. Are you sleep deprived? That's normally my thing. What's wrong?
No, please, Neku, please. It's not. I didn't have to organize a tournament earlier today. That doesn't sound like me. Actually, no, that's a lie.
So you are sleep deprived.
I'm not. I am energized by the people of twitch.tv/Amadeus. It energizes me.
You made sure to take down that coffee maker, right? You already did that?
Oh, yeah, it's gone.
Okay, good.
I just had to throw it out the window, so it's
right. You want to talk about that?
Yeah.
You want to tell that? Okay, hold on. Let's. Okay, hold on. Let's get through more of this news because we will talk about that because holy shit, I love this story. You guys are in for a good one in a few minutes, but just once I prep it. However, let's move on. What else are we gonna talk about? Okay, I think we kind of touched on the reception of Neo 2 months on. I think we kind of touched on that, but we'll sort of reiterate. It's hard to say general reception. It's hard to say. Honestly, like, it's hard to say. I haven't talked to too many people about what they think about the game since it's launched.
I'll say that a lot of the receptions like flip-flopped depending on what you played the game for, I guess. That's the way I'd describe it.
Yeah. So like Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, I thought you were finished. Go ahead.
The only thing I could think about saying is Mai is an example of the reception kind of shifting a bit over time. Because in private conversations that we have, we end up talking about like the story and stuff like that, and Mai's not completely satisfied with the story. But on the other end of the spectrum, people who are in it for the gameplay, like yourself, are really satisfied because the game is deep and complex and can punish you if you're not paying attention.
Yeah. I think it also depends on like if you're a new fan or you've played OG TWEWY.
If you're a new fan, I feel like I've seen generally positive. Like, the story isn't that bad for people that don't understand the backstory.
Well, it's just they don't have anything to compare it to.
That's
like,
very true.
Like the OG TWEWY, like it's again, we love this game. We've loved it for 14 years if you're Neku, or like 6 months if you're Mai. But that's
3
not true.
years.
That's 3 years. There you go.
There's definitely not a time gap there that Ahmed's just ignoring.
But yeah, like we've loved the game and loved the way it tells a story. Some new people, they haven't really experienced that before, so that's their type of storytelling. Like, granted, the story that The World Ends With You tells it's still pretty good. It's just different, and just does it in a different way. Again, different writer. So I don't think it's bad. It's just it's not the same as the way OG TWEWY does it. So it's very much a toss up whether you are gonna like it or not. And like again, I think. Even though the story is like something I'm like, it's weird because I like the story up until like a certain point, like
If you want to know more about that, watch our spoiler review.
Watch
it's a two-parter episode 12.
Yeah, watch spoiler review. Yeah, that's a good call. But yeah, there's a certain point where it's just it's like very close to the end, and that part where is the only part where I'm like, ugh. But even then, like it's not bad really. Like there's more to like this than just a story. Like. Even though the story is sort of like something that people go back and forth on, like the character interactions are still really good. Like people still enjoy like the characters and the character interactions. I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I haven't heard anything bad about those.
Yeah, I haven't. Me neither.
I'd say mine's had more of a pulse on the community than you and I have in a little while.
I have.
Actually, I feel like we all kind of fell off the face of the planet for 3 weeks.
I feel like
I definitely did. Again, like it's just my life has been topsy-turvy for the last while. But yeah, again, like I'm really curious. I wanna reach out to the new community, new people like TWEWY. I wanna see what people are all about and what they feel about the new game and why they love the new game. So yeah, no, well we shall try and get in touch with some people in those communities and see what they feel about the new game. But I think people are still really happy the game exists. I think it's just yeah, I think with a game that was this highly anticipated, I think a little bit of disappointment was inevitable. Mm-hmm. If we are being positive. Speaking of inevitable, ships are inevitable.
Yeah, like the bad opinions that you have. Understood.
I don't have bad opinions. All my opinions are excellent. Yep, you hear that? The stunned silence? That means I'm right.
That's the silence of me typing and of my planning your demise.
No, I don't believe you.
Tell him.
So we have, you know what's funny? We one of the people from these weeks contacted us on Twitter. I don't think we ever got back to them. I had to tell them that the shoutouts actually happening.
Oh, whoops, whoopsie!
It's happening live. But yes, there are a lot of ships in the fandom of Neo: The World Ends With You. Some are great, some make me want to jump off a bridge. But that's important. It's not important how I feel about Josh Neku. What is important is that people love Josh Neku, and they're entitled to their wrong opinions. They're also entitled to their we have dedicated the community, I should say, not me. The community has dedicated weeks for these particular ships to celebrate them and show them off on Twitter. And, generally show their love for their fictional relationships and fictional pairings.
I'd say you take it away, because the first one's yours.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's gonna be, I cannot speak. So there's gonna be a week for every ship, or at least like not every ship, but like the big ones. So there is Neku Beat Week, there's Josh Neku Week, there's Kirikagi Week, Nishiki Week, and Rendoka Week. So the first one is Neku Beat Week, which it will run from November 1st to November 7th, and then
Aren't these out of order?
Yes, these are out of order. Ahmed!
What do you mean, Ahmed? I did the order. I received them in the DMs. All right, don't blame me for this.
Okay, the first one is
try
actually
again.
Josh Neku. Okay, October 21st to the 27th, which is next week, I guess.
So if any of you guys are wondering why we're not doing a podcast next week, that's why. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna do a podcast that week because I don't think I'm ready for the pop off mine's gonna have that week. I don't think.
Well, she has the admin credits to the Twitter, so you have to deal with that
true.
now.
Oh yeah, I can take so much advantage of that. Oh my gosh.
No.
Yeah, you can.
No,
I had to say something because I knew I would forget.
I'm asking nicely.
No, you're not.
Nicely.
I don't care, Ahmed.
What do you mean I don't care? My
Anyways,
brand.
so no-
My
as
brand.
I said, there is Neku Beat Week on November 1st to November 7th. And then I guess Kirikagi Week and Nishiki Week are kind of the same week. But Kirikagi Week is the December 5th to December 11th. Nishiki Week is December 6th to December 12th. Rendoka Week is to be determined. So keep an eye out on well, I guess just the respective, you can just look up on Twitter. I'll put them in the chat.
We'll put them. Well, also they will be in the description as well of
Yes.
the video.
Each
But actually,
episode.
it's at Neku Beat Week, at Josh Neku Week, at Kirikagi Week, at Nishiki Week, and at Rendoka_week.
Though I guess it is also worth mentioning, because there's not all the ships in those weeks, but there is a week dedicated to all the female ships in TWEWY, which will be February 7th to February 13th.
There you go. So if you want to make some art and get your characters all, I kind of want to do a Waifu Wars podcast, but I don't think if the podcast will survive.
Excuse me?
I kind of
Oh
want to
my
do
God.
that. I feel like it might be the last episode of the podcast, but I feel like it would be.
We
a
would
funny way to
be
go.
destroyed by various people. I would not recommend we do that.
I think it would be pretty funny. I kind of want to do it, but I have to see how to do it without completely destroying.
I feel like that's not possible, bud.
No, you think this bomb is too much to disarm?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be incredibly fun, but also we'd be on stakes.
Yeah, we would be.
Anyways, Maya, are
Nice.
you excited for Josh Neku Week in literally 5 days?
Yes.
No.
What? Here's what I'm going to say, and Ahmed, you can plug your ears. What are you looking forward to the most? The fan art, the writing, or a combination of both?
Surprisingly, Josh Neku isn't my favorite ship. That belongs to a different duo. So I don't read a lot of Josh Neku, but I love the Josh Neku art. I love fan art though, just in general. Fan art is great. It's just always so good and cute.
Yeah,
And not just ship stuff either. It's also just taking a character and putting it in your own style. I can't do that. And it always looks so good.
My favorite Josh Neku fan art is the one where they kiss and then Joshua shivs him in the stomach.
I said you could plug your ears, not encourage chaos.
It's just I feel like that should exist, because that's the dynamic in my head of that relationship.
So,
Hey, honey,
Ahmed,
you
let's
want a
turn
cookie?
this to
And then
you.
eats the cookie.
Ahmed, are you excited for Nishiki Week?
Oh yes. But the thing
then
is,
what are you looking forward to the
Isn't
most?
there maybe I'm not gonna plug this now because I feel like I should plug this properly when we've talked to the guys. But isn't there a whole initiative now for Nishiki Week, or there's a whole zine happening for Nishiki?
I actually do not know that.
I'm pretty sure I saw it on Twitter. Hey guys,
I don't.
Nishiki Zine guys, talk to me. Talk to us on Twitter.
DM us on the Twitter, please.
I want to
I think
plug.
there might be. I know that there was just a TWEWY zine.
But say the TWEWY zine is actually happening pretty soon. I know it's actually dropping soon. And if you did not support the TWEWY zine, you're shit out of luck because they already closed the orders.
What's wrong with you? If you didn't,
I didn't have the money. You can fuck off.
neither did I. But you really should. I really hope they open up for orders again, at least for digital orders, because like I think they will. Surely.
I really want them to. Or if they allow me to late back, I'd be so happy.
Yeah.
I can't remember if I got it because I remember looking at it and I remember like filling stuff out, but I don't remember if I actually. Wow. Okay.
Ooh.
I think I did. I'll get a nice
You
surprise.
hope you did.
So yeah, no, please encourage, well, I can't talk about this without, like, really, like, angering people.
You're receding into your skin.
Okay, please support the ships you would like to support, okay?
There you go.
The TWEWY community is pretty great on Twitter. Check it out on Twitter, it's a pretty fun place. Follow the accounts, have fun. Enjoy the beautiful art, because there's a lot of beautiful art going around. Speaking of things that are beautiful, a little bit of a sidetrack for now from the Worldlands with you, because there's something very important that we have to talk about in the general. This isn't the Worldlands with you, but this is the general sort of Square Enix realm, which is again, this is something that in the podcast we can sort of expand and talk about a bit more as the TWEWY news begins to sort of calm down a bit. If you have been living under a rock, or Dwayne Johnson the last while, you may not know that the latest character in Super Smash Brothers is Square Enix's own Sora. I don't know what his second name is. I said that like I was going to say second name.
You could just say Sora Kingdom Hearts.
Sora Kingdom Hearts. Good old Sora Kingdom Hearts. Made it into Super Smash Brothers, and everybody was hyped. Honestly, it's like, yeah. Like, what did you guys think about the story reveal?
I'm gonna let Mai go first, actually.
I got spoiled. My friend.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so I woke up. I forgot that there was the direct, and I had not set an alarm for it. So I slept through it, and then I woke up like halfway through it, and then I see like my Discord is just popping off. My friends are like, "You won, Mai. Okay, you won." And
you're
I'm
like,
like,
what?
huh? And they're like, "Sorry, gotten smashed." I'm like, "Oh, cool, nice. Thanks for spoiling." Yeah, I would have been spoiled by the freaking. They put it in the. They just like immediately after starting the live stream, they changed the title to Sora.
Yeah,
so
they really did.
Spoiled anyway.
Amazing.
But I'm very happy that my boy is in there, even though I don't play Smash Bros.
Yeah. I'll be completely honest and say I never actually expected it to happen. The legal wall that Square Enix had to find a way to climb to make this character happen was insane. Like, Nintendo had to negotiate with Square Enix first, who was already willing to work with them, and then go talk to the mouse. The literal biggest company on the planet, with a fleet of lawyers, had to give them permission to use one singular second of the Mickey logo.
I'm sure that costed more than Sora himself.
I want to point this out to people. If anyone ever played Team Fortress 2 and like,
yeah, I knew I was gonna bring that up. If you didn't bring that up, I was gonna bring it up because I love that meme.
This singular item cost $4 million for 3 seconds. Showing the Mickey logo on the stream was so expensive, it was insane.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure.
Also, the fact that every Disney character is censored in the Platform Awakening stage is hilarious to me.
Oh, the fact that they replaced Donald with a papu fruit is so funny to me. It's so funny to me.
So, in case you guys aren't aware, there are Disney characters in Kingdom Hearts. You know, Sora is not a Disney character, but Donald, Goofy, Mickey, characters like that. Pete. In the Smash trailer, when the Platform Awakening occurs, Donald, Goofy, and Mickey are all censored with various Kingdom Hearts items. Nintendo could not convince Disney to let them have that.
No. It just wasn't gonna happen, bro.
They did it for Riku as well.
Yeah, they
got
censored
rid of
Mickey entirely.
I think, who did they put? I think they put Xehanort? Because I think
they did. They put they put Xehanort in place of Mickey, which is the funniest thing in the world.
Yeah.
You know. So just in case people don't understand, the Platforms of Awakening have various characters tied to the person on the platform, and they're usually the most important people to their lives. So Sora had like Kairi, Riku, and a couple other characters like Donald and Goofy. For some reason, Riku had Xehanort on it, and Xehanort possessed Riku.
I think
that
in
is
the
not
past
a good
he had
influence.
Xemnas. I think he always had Xemnas. But I think, does he have both now?
I think he has both.
Man.
That's a thing. I'll be the first person to admit, by the way, I saw this live. I almost cried at my desk at work. I never thought this character was going to exist in a Smash Brothers game.
A video of someone's reaction in a classroom, and it was the most hilarious thing ever because this guy is just standing in his class is watching the reveal, and then he is just freaking out, crying, like running everywhere across the classroom. It's just a total breakdown. He's just so happy.
It's honestly like it honestly is like the best way to close off Smash Ultimate. Because like
it's the most impossible character. There is no other character I could think of that would have been harder to get than Sora.
Yeah. It's honestly like it's super impressive that he got in the first place. And like obviously there had to be adjustments that had to be made to make it possible. Like there isn't much like Cloud, there isn't a single remixed version of any of the songs other than the winning fanfare.
Which had to be done by Yoko-san herself. She actually had to make that music herself.
Oh shit, really? So it wasn't even made by anybody in Nintendo. Okay, I didn't even know that.
They hired Shimamura because I think that was part of their contract. They had to let her do the fanfare.
Okay, I didn't even know that. But yeah, so like there was a lot of legal loopholes, but by golly, man, they did it. Like it's crazy to me. It's crazy to me that they actually did it. Like, man, like it's just not like right. If you were watching, because I reacted to it here on stream, like people asked me like what were my dream picks. I said like, oh, it'd be funny if we got Sora. I didn't actually think we'd get Sora, but yeah, I'm really happy. First of all, it's kind of funny that like honestly like we used the Twitter for the podcast used to be called Necker for Smash. This is the closest we're ever gonna get to Necker for Smash, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I saw someone's logic on Twitter. So people are gonna play Smash, they're gonna play Sora, they're gonna play Kingdom Hearts, they're gonna play Dream Drop Distance, they're gonna play TWEWY.
That is a very long food chain, and I hope it happens, but I doubt it.
Galaxy Brain. But
it'll still work for at least a couple people.
It'll work for some. I'll completely agree with that statement, but it's not going to be a massive influx.
But yes. Yeah, no, I'm super happy with it. Obviously, super faithful. They did so many cool things with him. Again, all the moves are the same. The floating is the same. He has Sonic Rave. He has taunts. He has. I love the colors they gave him. They gave him the Timeless River costume, which is the best shit.
That the fact they got Timeless River as a reference to Mickey.
Yeah, that alone would have been. Yeah, it was pretty difficult. Yeah.
Like getting Timeless River, which literally was just Disney IP as a costume.
Yeah, yeah. Can we talk
Also,
yeah, go ahead.
no, just a small announcement for myself. I have not streamed in 2 months. I will actually be streaming the day Sora releases just to play the game again. Because 2 years ago, I made a promise that if Sora or Riku came to Smash, I would have to play the game. So yeah, there's my personal announcement. That's all.
Fair. And where can they watch the stream, Mr. Neku?
You see my name right down there, the Osmoneku? Yeah, that's literally everywhere. Twitch, Twitter, etc. Like, just go to my Twitch. It's probably going to be in the description. I don't know.
Yeah. So, yeah, go check that out.
And then Ahmed's going to hate me because I'm going to play nothing but Sora, and I'm going to be a floaty bitch.
That's fine. I'm gonna hate you because of the netcode. I'm not gonna hate you because of the way what you play.
Also, the fact that he's lighter than Isabelle.
Yeah.
He is almost the lightest character in the game.
Makes sense, honestly. And besides, like, you have to remember that Isabelle carries several weapons on her at any given moment. Like, that does add to her
That is
weight.
very true.
Yeah.
Coming away from Kingdom Hearts, I believe if someone has a story to tell.
Well, before we do that, I do.
Yeah.
Sorry, before we get to that,
Okay.
last thing I want to say, that trailer was insane. That last trailer for
Did
Sora
you see the
was
Did you see the
insane.
full version yet?
Yes.
Yeah,
It's
the
really
one where where Sora's shaking Mario's hand.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, Sora's the only character who's ever shaken Mickey Mouse and Mario's hands.
Crazy. Absolutely insane. So yeah, no, I honestly like that trailer. Like, even as a callback to the very first Smash trailer, it's so good. It is so good. But yes, play Sora. It's pretty fun. I'm gonna be playing them. Super cool. He's in there. I love the costumes. Love the references. Love everything. I love Smash. Thank you, Sakurai, for making a pretty amazing game. Now please fix the online.
That's not gonna happen. Sakurai's done.
Yeah, no, he should be. Like, I really would be okay if he doesn't do another Smash game. He just keeps porting this one. Like, I kind of wish he does that, because like that man has put so much time into Smash and creating Smash. It's insane.
This is literally the best crossover fighting game in existence. There is not a game that will beat this, in my opinion.
No, it's not possible.
So yeah, please just port Ultimate forever and just give it better netcode in the future.
Do it. All right. I think it's story time. We have story time, and then we are going to talk about a little bit about the first week of TWEWY. We're going to sort of review that and give our general thoughts on it. Just as a quick sort of run through. But before we do that, when you told me the story, I lost my shit laughing. So I feel like the stream needs to feel your pain on this one.
Yeah, Neku hasn't heard this story.
Nope.
I
have no idea what I'm in for.
Yeah, you told me not to tell him so we get a live reaction.
Oh, I did say
Really?
that.
You're using me for content? You're using me for content.
Of course. What are friends for?
I hate you.
Anyway, so I'm a culinary student that specializes in baking. And so I made these cupcakes. I entered them into my local fair. And I won. Okay, cool. But Ahmed, if you could show the pictures.
All right, so let me show.
Cupcakes, okay?
So okay, let's first start off by saying like look at this beautiful chocolate Oreo cupcake, perfectly done. The Oreos are split in half. The cream is done all nice.
Do you have any left over? I kind of want one.
No, they're gone.
Well, you have to make some for me later. Moving on.
Is that are those Oreo crumbs in the top?
Yes.
Oh.
And it's filled, so it's a chocolate cupcake with Oreo buttercream, and then in this inside I took, because for the Oreo crumb on top, I had a bunch of the Oreo frosting. I was like, what the hell do I do with this? So I took some whipped cream and I made like mousse out of the Oreo icing and whipped cream.
Oh,
and
stop.
that's in the middle.
That's nuts.
Don't actually stop.
That's so good. Surely a dessert this good got first place at a county fair where in which like the category, like the cupcake, you were telling me the cupcake category isn't even that like popular. There don't even matter that many cupcakes put in. So surely you won, right?
You think? No, I got second.
Yay.
I want to see who won first. Okay.
Okay, it's a.
Oh, this is great.
So like. Hold on, Nick, I'm gonna show it to you a bit more clearly. But it is the flattest cupcake I think I've ever seen in my life. Like, so,
what is that? It looks like it has Hershey's Kisses on the top, and it's like a sandwich that's been squished.
It's,
I don't know, but it did win first place.
How?
Pumpkin chocolate chip cupcakes. Those don't even look like cupcakes.
That doesn't even sound good.
It does sound good, actually.
I'm not a big fan of pumpkin, so.
Me neither, but like, people, it's a good flavor combination. But I guess they just really like pumpkin. I am livid still. It's been like a month and I'm still livid.
It's been a month and you're still pissed?
Yeah.
You know what? I didn't even blame you. What the fuck are those? What is that?
They're also supposed to be graded on appearance. What the hell is that decoration?
Apparently not.
Okay, so I understand if they're like really yummy, okay, they must taste like actual like happiness, okay?
Tastes like ambrosia.
But as a cake decorator, I am so offended.
I have never seen my this mad before.
I can't look at this and imagine why you lost. Did someone just not like Oreos? Was that the problem?
I was gonna point out, second place, first place.
I got nothing. I genuinely am offended for you.
Like for those of you who are listening in like podcast form, like this, honestly, the only way I can describe like Mai's cupcakes are like actually like pretty beautifully done, like chocolate cupcakes with like cream really done really well.
Like
and,
the
like,
only thing that I like, my icing job could be better because it's kind of floppy. But Jesus Christ, it's still better than flat just spread on icing.
It looks like
a sideways tire.
Chips.
It looks like a small jam-filled donut with icing and Hershey's Kisses on the top. And even
I prefer the sideways tire.
And that's being like pretty generous.
I don't understand.
So yeah, that's.
I got nothing,
I was talking to some friends, and we were talking about like the fair, and because they're also like so confused too, so we're all like pretty sure. And I was talking to someone whose family is in the fair, but for a different part of it. It's like always the same people that run it, so it's probably a lot of connections. I'm guessing the person who won first is friends with the judges.
Someone rigged this shit. Was there even a prize?
It was not really. There was like a $3 prize. It was a $10 entry fee. I literally only won it so I only entered to call them award-winning cupcakes to put on my resume.
Someone literally rigged this shit for $5.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. That is genuinely the scummiest thing I have seen this fucking year. Like, my God.
It might be scummy, but it is hilarious.
Oh, it's fucking hysterical, but also I'm mad for Mai now.
You know, it's just, you gotta keep up with your studies, Mai. Come on, like, you can't beat this.
It'd be one thing if they looked spectacular, okay? Then I would accept my loss, okay? However, no!
You peaked your mic with that no. That was amazing.
I have never had Mike peak the audio. What the hell is going on?
That was amazing.
Yeah, I'm also just competitive by nature, so I'd probably complain anyway if they looked really good. But
Oh,
not
don't
like
play
this.
fighting games. Just
but
don't play fighting games ever.
if they looked really good, I was like, okay, like fair enough. You lost to some pretty stiff competition, but like,
Yeah.
No.
I was like when I was like, okay, I hope I win. I'm kind of expecting I'll get in the top 3 because I knew that there weren't going to be a lot of entries, and you know I have experience. I'm a student that does this. So I was like, okay, like there might be really good competition. The third place looked better than this.
Wow.
Do I have a picture of third place? I think I do.
send it on.
But yeah, they were like peanut butter cupcakes.
That actually doesn't sound bad. No, pumpkin chocolate chip. That just makes me shiver. I cannot imagine that flavor profile. I'm good.
Yes, here it is. So you can see on the left, Ahmed, when it sends to you.
Okay, so this is like, okay.
I can't understand the judge's decision is the way that I'll phrase it.
So, hold on.
This fucking image. This is cursed. This is cursed content.
Oh man, that is funny. Oh man,
I
that
hate
is
this.
funny.
I hate
I like
this.
this. I appreciate. Look at how.
This is the worst timeline.
Oh, this is
I
good.
hate this.
I like this. Yeah, this is great.
Can we stop staring at those cupcakes? I'm losing my mind.
Let's
I
stop
feel like I'm losing
staring
brain
at the
cells.
cupcakes. Let's.
My one brain cell is crying in pain.
It's okay. It's okay. It's unfortunate. We're sorry, Mai, for what you had to endure.
So next time you go to that county fair, invite me and we'll find out how this was rigged.
All right, will do.
All right. Finally, before we end things off here, we did say we kind of go through week by week, Neo and sort of tell us some of the thoughts. I feel like we've discussed Neo at length now because we've done a spoiler and non-spoiler review, but just sort of talk about little pointers and little special things that happened in each day. We are for the rest of the podcast going into spoiler mode. So if you have not played Neo: The World Ends With You, you know, don't be here. Go play the game.
Go buy it on fucking Epic Game Store. Go get the fresh 60 FPS version.
Yes, go buy it on Epic Game Store. If you own a console, get it on Switch or PS4. Have yourself a good time. But for now, we are going to talk about week 1 of Neo real quick.
This probably isn't going to be too long of a segment, by the way, because we have divulged a lot of our opinions, but we're going to comment on mostly our favorite moments in this week and what we thought about it in general.
Yeah, that's true. And we encourage the chat at this point, sort of also talk to us a little bit as we're going through the days. Tell us about their favorite moments, and we'll comment on them as well if we see them as if they sort of bring out some sort of emotion in us. So obviously we have the very first day. You know, this is a lot of people played this in the, like, all of you played the demo, so a lot of people have gone through this already. But you know, the first day, you know, so them the day, it starts off with them not being in the game in the first place, which was cool. It's cool that they're
the prologue?
not in the game. Yeah.
Sorry, you kept saying the first day, and I was like,
Yeah, I keep forgetting, like, technically, like, the prologue is before the first day, technically. Keep forgetting that.
so yeah, the prologue is them wandering around the city, just shooting the shit and being good buds, because, you know, that's what you do as a writer. You make characters relatable. And Fred is hilarious in English. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. Griffin did a great job. Griffin Burns. Oh, by the way, real quick, in case, like, some of you guys are like, oh, I've already played the first week, we can listen here. We are going to be referring stuff that happens later on in the game. So, again, if you have not completed the main story of Neo: The World Ends With You, this is your final warning. But anyway, let's continue. Yeah, no, them honestly, them hanging out at the very beginning was super cool. It's great to see them connecting as characters, and again, their friendship and their connection is super duper believable and super duper cool in the game. So it's this was a really good moment about their friendship and stuff.
Maya, what'd you think?
I didn't really have a lot to say about this part, but I mean, it's because I don't know, I played it twice. But you know, like, just seeing like, yeah, their friendship is really good. I like the nickname Rendude.
It's a good nickname, to be fair.
Yeah.
But yes, no, I like, honestly, their friendship is one of my favorite things about this game. I love the way they connect and talk and shit. What else? So yeah, that's the first part. Obviously, you get the choice to go a ramen shop or an Indian shop, where us TWEWY fans at large were catfished into thinking that you know, Ramadan does not exist in this universe, but he does. I think every person with a soul went for ramen. Like every person who's played the original game went for ramen, just in the hopes of seeing
I hope so.
Ramadan again, but it just didn't happen.
We can only hope as much as possible. And then we found out like 3 days later he's doing curry.
Yeah. Insane. So that happens for a while. Let me see here. So I'm looking at a website that has a few notes as to what's
oh yeah,
up.
Fred fucking dies.
Fred does die. That is
honestly, that part was great.
I really expected that moment to set the tone for the game. Like even with time travel shenanigans, the second Fred died, I was like, people are going to be dying left and right. That's what I wanted to happen at that point, because Fred was just fucking dead.
Yep. Yeah, no, he really was.
Also, there are a lot of people who had the fan theory of after Fred died, Rindo was just like going through a mental trauma for the entire game. And I was like, I don't like that. I don't like that theory, so that didn't happen.
No. Honestly, like one thing about like this game is that this game like definitely starts off in a way lighter tone than OG TWEWY does. OG TWEWY like kind of very definitely starts off quite intense. In that you immediately see people dying before you. You're like, what the hell's going on? And like you feel like your life is immediately at risk. Whereas these guys don't even really register the risk until like later on. But yes, on that term,
it was funny though. Like they're just playing the game throughout the week, and it looks like they're having a great time. And then finally, like I forget what day it was, reality gets knocked into them, and I was like, "Come on, guys, there we go."
I'm pretty sure it was day 4 or day 5.
And then with that, they were like, "Oh, that's whatever. Okay,
we're just gonna keep dealing with this."
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely is. Like they were super lax about the game for like the first couple of days. Like, oh sure, I guess.
That was a bit odd, I think.
It definitely was a weakness of this game. Did not need to be emotionally heavy, and I hate that. Because, like, again, the first thing we see is Fred die, and I was like, okay, you've set your tone, and then that never happens again.
Nah, not really. But yes, then we got a little game, and then you go to Shibuya Hikari, and then, you know, my life becomes better in every conceivable way. Because Sho makes his appearance finally. Well, not finally. Actually, Sho's appearance. He makes an appearance very early in the game. Makes me happy. Again, Sho in general. I've talked my piece about Sho in this game, but I like Sho in this game. He's very sort of does what he wants, and he definitely seems like he has an ulterior motive a lot of the time.
All the time. He's always trying to do something.
But definitely having him giving a hand at the beginning like made me super happy. Also, hearing the remix of Transformation for the first time. Oh, did you guys know that Transformation is like one of the top 5 tracks on Spotify for the Neo album?
It makes sense. There's so many freaking Sho simps. I can't.
To be fair, no other character
It's-
really has a theme like Show does, in my
That is
opinion.
true.
Like, literally, Show's theme is transformation at this point.
That's
It
true,
is
yeah.
odd though. There wasn't like in this game, except for Show, there weren't a lot of like themes. Like there, you can. What I really love about the soundtrack of the first game is that there, like if you take Game Over, that's Hanakoma's theme, and you can also pick apart the words in that and like decipher it and see he's kind of, if it was told from Hanakoma's perspective, is kind of talking about Joshua, and then again with Neku. We actually, a long time ago, Luca, when Luca was still around, she did a whole analyzation on that song. I don't know if I could find that.
We'll have to dig around for it, but yeah, I'm
yes.
pretty sure it's still on the Twitter somewhere.
But there are songs that did that. If you like really pick them apart and you know decipher them and analyze them. That doesn't really happen in this game soundtrack. I still love this soundtrack. It's so good.
I still listen to it every day.
Yeah. But yeah, there's not really like any character themes outside of that.
Yeah, I agree.
But I mean, there's like there was that one song, I forget what it's called, but in the first game it was like the Reaper's theme. But that's like used a lot just whenever in Neo.
To be fair, a lot more Reaper interaction is in this game because of a lot of different factors, actually.
Yeah, no, it is interesting. Yeah, because like, yeah, that's true. Like the only other theme I can think of is like Last Call is kind of usually kept for one specific character as well. But that's the only other example I can think of. Oh, actually, that's a lie. We're Losing You. That's also kind of kept for one character.
Yeah. But I think of those more as boss fight musics, not so much themes.
I can
That's
agree
true.
with that statement.
Does Unpainted only play in that one fight?
You mean Last
I
Call?
think it does.
If we're talking about...
No, I'm talking about Unpainted.
I'm trying to remember what fight that was.
My life is still unpainted. That
No,
one.
I know the song. I'm
Oh,
trying to
okay.
think of what fight it is.
Sheba.
I
still wouldn't call it Sheba's theme.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
it's played before. I think it was played before we heard it there. Don't quote me on that, though.
I feel like the only other character that really had a theme was, my brain has blanked. Blue Man Suit.
Motoy.
Yeah,
Thank you. Yeah, like him having Act the Fool is the only other theme I can really think of.
that's true.
And Rindo does have a theme, but you only get it during the final boss fight. Because that is his theme. When you listen to lyrics, it's literally just talking about Rindo at that point.
Yeah. But yes, that was day one. That's kind of everything that happened day one. Good day. Good way starting off. It kind of sets the tone for the rest of the game, honestly, with the tone and everything. Day two. Let's see. Get Twisted.
The team
see.
name is formed on Tay 2, I'm pretty sure, because it's right before Monkey Fight.
Yes. Yeah, that's exactly it.
That scene was great.
Yeah, it really was.
I find something I could have sworn back when we were just getting trailers, that one of the articles said that the name, like the Wicked Twisters, was named after a song that Fret liked. But
I remember
was-
that being in an interview, but they never pointed it out in game.
Yeah, maybe that was in Japanese, but
Oh,
I
what
don't
is that
know.
again?
Like Wicked Twisters was supposed to be based off of Fret's favorite song, which would be, you know, Twister. But that wasn't a thing in the game.
Yeah, it's true. It's weird that they didn't really give it much of a reason for calling them Wicked Twisters. That is kind of odd.
Yeah. I was like so ready for the first soundtrack to like be canon. Because like that's always been a theory, is that Neku was listening to the soundtrack while he was playing the game.
Dude, you know, on that note, I didn't know that that thing on his necklace was an MP3 player this entire time until I got like the pre-order thing and I realized I didn't know that.
To be fair,
my
a lot
gosh.
of people don't know that because it's a very obscure Japanese-only MP3 player.
It's pretty cool. Remember MP3 players? Man,
Yeah.
it's a long time
Remember
ago.
when iPhone didn't just control the planet?
God. But yes. What else? Yeah, day 2 was MKN, that entire story. Fred gets his remind ability. Which,
I was expecting MKN to have more involvement and be like the new cat. No.
yeah.
We don't really have a cat in this game.
Yeah.
Which I was
For
totally
various
fine.
reasons in the secret reports, which I will not expand upon because Ahmed still does not have them, but...
That's,
Tisk tisk.
whatever. I get to him. But yes, first remind thing. So yeah, I really want to like print out all the Fret reminds and like frame them. Like I love them all. I love all the dumpy MS Paint drawings. They make me happy. And then what happens? Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot to mention. I think this is also the. I think day 1 is when the first time Rindo and Shoka meet and interact. So you know, there's that. I don't think I feel like maybe this is part of the reason why I'm kind of lukewarm on that ship is because like nothing kind of led into it. I don't know.
I'll agree with that.
It's just like it just kind of happened. Like especially because these are people like particularly Rindo, somebody who's kind of like cautious to trust people. And then Shoka kind of happened, and he was like, "Yeah, sure, you can join the team." Like with little hesitation, I'm like,
Well, they had like a little bit where like she started getting on his nerves because she was being around them a lot and helping, but not like, you know, hinting at them
yeah,
to not, you know, just being discreet. And that kind of led into just eventually accepting her and then, you know, bringing her into the team.
Okay, so it's definitely very tsundere-esque. In style, but
It was very cute.
that's pretty all right. Yeah. By the way, disclaimer: me hating on any ships does not mean you are entitled to like what you like. It's just I'm also a bit of a bastard.
Ahmed has
I don't like
taste.
everything. Yeah. I have strong opinions. But yes, please enjoy what you would like to enjoy. You go east and find MKN, and then you solve the riddle. Obviously, then this is when you come up with the team's name. Wicked Twisters, which again, we didn't get much of a reason why we're called particularly Wicked Twisters. Also, they called Wicked Twisters cringy. Which
Oh
was
wait,
funny.
didn't Kanon happen?
Oh yeah, there's also when you first time you meet Kanon, yeah. Yeah, this guy isn't great. We might have to find a new way to get notes for this. Because I think it's missing a lot of story beats. But yeah, Kanon happened today.
That was also a
Which-
great introduction scene to a character.
Oh, it was so good. I loved seeing Kret's like just face.
Fret no longer have brain.
It was so great. I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved every part of it. I loved seeing like, oh, it was so cute. It was so cute. Seeing him just like completely blush. Oh, it was so cute. It was great. I loved that. Yeah. Yeah, great introduction. I really liked her introduction. She definitely like introduced herself to like, I definitely thought she was gonna be a lot more of a villain based on this
Yeah.
introduction. She didn't end up being a villain, really.
I think a lot of people were expecting her to be like the double cross.
Yeah.
I was not trusting her at all. And then I regretted that.
That's in week 3 spoilers.
Well, I didn't say anything else.
We can deal with that later. Hey, postscript Ahmed.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I have to edit this episode today. It's fine. We're keeping it in. Obviously, you have then Meku, or not Meku. You have Rindo pounding his chest, which is an image we all needed in our lives. But yes, and that's pretty much day 2. I don't think there's anything else that happened on day 2. We gotta get teased with some of the other villains at the end of the day, but I think that's fine. Oh god, this page might have spoilers. Let me not scroll down too far. We might not do all of week 1 here, because we're taking a little while, but
I think finishing on day 3 is a good point, because that's when we get our 4th party member.
I think that's a good call too. Let's see here. So the day 3 is kind of important because it introduces 2 big things. First of all, it's the first rewind day. So it's the first day that you get to play back with the rewind to fix things. And it's also the introduction of Nagi.
What a great character.
I love Nagi. Nagi is fantastic. I think she's great. I really enjoy her references. I enjoy how dorky she is. I enjoy how she always wants to help, even though she kind of struggles with people sometimes. I love Nagi. She's great.
She's so cute. I love her. And it's not just that. I also like just the fangirl noises at Miranda. And I said this like when we interviewed her. I was like, the noises that she's able to make are just so fitting for Nagi. I love them. Really bring her character to life.
It's nuts.
Those noises came from the soul. That's all I ever needed to know.
I don't know how she does it. But yes, is this the first day we get dive? Is there a dive on this day?
Because Nagi, or no, it's the next day because Nagi has to be officially in your party first.
Gotcha, yeah, that's what it was. Let's see here.
There's really nothing else that happens in day 3. Outside of the rewind and getting Nagi in your party, nothing else really happens.
Yeah, not much. I mean, it's definitely, like I said, first time that it kind of explains to you how rewind works and how you're going to be using it. So, like, that takes up a lot of the day.
This is still the world building phase is the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah. Although, never mind, there is something to talk about here. I think, isn't this the day where the Hidden River Society have that, like, conversation about like, do you like rivers?
Oh, the waifu game.
Yeah. Do you remember that conversation? Oh my god. I kind of almost want to get the dialogue for that because it's so good. It's like, hey, do you like your rivers like curvy or do you like them with a bit of age on them or something?
It literally is just a waifu game.
It's
is so funny.
It is so good. I love that conversation.
Something.
Oh, it's 10 out of 10.
Standing rivers. I'll never understand, dude.
River stands. I love it. I'm so okay with it.
Of course you're okay with it. You think it's hilarious.
It is hilarious.
It is pretty funny.
I just don't get it.
Oh yeah, oh my god, the simping over show was the best shit ever.
That was also pretty funny.
Yeah, because you were doing it at the same time.
It was so great.
It was very funny from an outside point of view.
Like, quick reminder, we watched him play through the game the first time because she and I beat it before he did. And the noises he was making were very similar to Nagi.
Yeah.
That's true, actually. I still have those recordings. I gotta get those clips out for these episodes next time because I still have a bunch of clips of like me reacting to stuff in the game.
Yep.
Oh man. But yes,
and that's pretty much just day 3 in a nutshell, actually.
Honestly, yeah, there isn't much about it. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff I popped off about, like the week 2, day 2 thing. Oh my god. The pop-off
We'll
was
get there.
nuts.
Yeah.
I'll definitely share my clip there. But yeah, honestly,
For now, I think we're at an hour and a half.
yeah, I think this is honestly a good place to call it. Like, I think we've kind of talked about what we need to talk about, and we'll get through the rest of the days and weeks. I kind of want to get better notes and notes that have a bit more in them, but like, I feel like this is going to be a good way to sort of like keep us talking about Neo for another while we sort of reminisce on the game and different parts of the game, and people can sort of follow along. So yeah, I honestly think this is a good place to call it. No.
I'd agree.
Yeah, I think so. So, real quickly, going to the end screen. It's we're an hour and a half in. It wasn't 2 hours long.
Did you actually correct the end screen though?
Yes. So we're gonna have to bear with us a little bit on the next episode. There might be a Halloween episode, maybe, possibly, if you're lucky. So yeah, there might be a Halloween episode where we'll see what we're gonna do. We might have some fun times. It might be pretty funny. It's probably gonna be us like sort of chilling and sort of chatting about Halloween stuff and how much I don't like Halloween, and yeah, we'll see. So I don't know when that's happening yet, but it might happen Halloween weekend. And then after that, we kind of have something planned that we'll hopefully be able to reveal close to the time. But until that time, very importantly, I must thank Willabun, Exilra, RSP, Zeta Slow, Shin Kojin, Dartoots, Hamas Shipper, Krista Ventresca, Kyle Turpey, Salty Dwayne, Brett Tendo, Slice of Delicious Life. Thank you for the support on the Patreon. You keep us going. You keep me happy. You keep food in the belly of Neku's pets.
Yes, you actually do. It helps pay for our pets' food. That's not a joke.
It's pretty fantastic. You know what? You should actually like put some like pictures of the ferrets in like the angel part of the Discord.
Oh, Flora will get right on that. She has all
Yeah.
the pictures.
Yeah, to like show them what they're paying for. If you want to see the pictures of ferrets, support us on Twitch on patreon.com/TPEWY. I think I've plugged that enough today.
Are you sure?
Sure. Sure, I'm sure. So, yes. Thank you all so much for watching. Again, bear with us while we're kind of transitioning and moving on and changing the podcast slowly but surely. Again, we're going to be talking to our angels about, in general anyway, about sort of where the direction they'd like to see the podcast going next. We don't actually know. We're kind of like playing it by ear, or certainly I'm kind of playing it by ear. We're seeing, sort of feeling our way around and seeing how best to move on with the podcast with the absence of specifically TWEWY news. But we will get myself, Neku, and Mai talking and just having fun. Sometimes about the ones with you, sometimes about other stuff. So I hope you guys are sticking around for the journey, for the ride. We'd love to have you guys here. But any final comments from you guys, Neku, Mai?
I got nothing outside of I should have won that contest.
I was gonna say, I got robbed.
See, every once in a while, the brain cells connect with a tiny bolt of electricity, and it works.
It does. It really does. In that case, on that note, we'll see you guys possibly in 2 weeks, maybe in 3 weeks.
We'll find out. Have a good night.
Please make sure to stay tuned to our Twitter to see exactly what we're doing and our going-ons. We'll be more active there from now on, I promise.
We're gonna try.
With that, good night, goodbye.
Bye
See you guys soon. I mean, that pumpkin cupcake was pretty good, though.
bye.